So I'm back from SGC this week. That was a fun show. This is the second year running that I've done SGC, and also the second year in a row that I've demoed Super Win the Game. Last year the game was not out yet, but I had a probably about like a 75% complete version of the game that I was demoing. This time the game is out, and I've just recently added some new content, so I was specifically showing off that new stuff. So I had sort of a trimmed down version of the game that starts you off with next to the speedrun courses and lets you go like explore Liquid Dungeon and that stuff. But I think that demoed pretty well, and I think too just the fact that the game's already out there, and it wasn't like I was desperately trying to promote it. I think that took the pressure off a little bit, so I was able to just relax and just enjoy being at a show presenting my game a little bit more. I mean, like, those sorts of events are always a little bit physically strenuous, just because there's a lot of carrying boxes, loading in, loading out. You're on your feet all day, so you do start to get worn down by the end of the day and by the end of the weekend. But yeah, it wasn't as stressful as some of the events I did last year. It was it was a really fun show, and I liked what they did this year. They had all the indie developers in the same room as the vendors, whereas last year indie developers were split off in their own separate room, and that was I don't know. It felt like there was a better flow to the room, like just a constant stream of people coming through, just checking out everything. It wasn't like, oh well, we'll go look at the indie games and that will be just sort of like a one-time thing, and then we'll leave and never come back to this room. It was just like constant stream of people coming through, checking out the game. And yeah, it was. It seemed like got pretty good responses. I was selling copies of the game there this year, which that was a first for me. So I did find out my Square Reader works. That was nice. I was like, I'm going to say that I'm taking credit cards and then just cross my fingers and hope that I can take credit cards. But yeah, so that worked, and I sold a couple of copies each day. It wasn't anything amazing, but then I kind of went in with no expectations. I was like, if I sell a few copies, cool. Steam keys don't really cost me anything. They only cost as far as selling stuff at conventions is like the flyers that I print the Steam keys on, and then the stickers and the printer ink and all that stuff. So there is some cost of materials there, but it's relatively cheap to produce those. So yeah, I haven't yet actually looked to see like, has the number of units I've sold actually made up for the cost of attending the convention? I don't necessarily know, and I don't necessarily know that that's even a worthwhile benchmark to consider. I don't like. I would go to these shows anyway, just because I want to be out there promoting my game, regardless of whether I'm able to recoup the costs directly in that way. So yeah. That was SGC. Classic Game Fest is coming up this weekend. I'll be driving down to Austin on Friday. The show is Saturday and Sunday. I'll be driving back here to Dallas next Monday. And I guess at some point I have to figure out what... next Monday's blog is going to be the continuation of the Booth Hacks articles I'm doing. Hacks in the winking tongue-in-cheek sense of life hacks. But yeah, I'll have to figure out what next Wednesday's video is going to be. I haven't worked on the game at all in like about a week. I will have something for Friday for Saturday for the in-depth build. I made one small change early last week, so I will manage to get that in there. But yeah, otherwise, I'm not really doing any work on the game until I get back from Classic Game Fest, which I guess it's going to be almost August by that time. So eventually I'm going to start working on the game again, but just had to take a break to do some events. At some point in the near future, I'm hoping to do a video and slides and a whole big presentation on physics, the physics of jumping in video games, which is a topic that I care very, very deeply about. I wrote a blog post related to that a few years ago, and I have some notes as far as like PowerPoint slides and stuff of where I would like to take that in the future. But yeah, hopefully that will be coming up in the next couple of weeks. I realize that's sort of maybe peripheral to the concept of actually making Gunmetal Arcadia, which was the whole point behind these Let's Make Gunmetal Arcadia videos. But at the same time, I do think that sort of like game development education is it's fun and interesting for me to talk about. Hopefully, it's fun and interesting for viewers to watch. So I don't know, maybe eventually I just turn this into, you know, the Minor Key Games weekly video update, as opposed to specifically Let's Make Gunmetal Arcadia. But yeah, we'll see where that goes in the future. In any case, I want to keep making these weekly videos, and hopefully people want to keep watching them. So, you know, definitely let me know. As always, if there's anything in particular that you like or don't like or would like to see in the future. I guess that's it for this week. Just a short update this time. But if you're enjoying this series, I'd encourage you to like and subscribe and share it with your friends and post it on your forums and subreddits and all those things. As always, you can leave questions and comments below this video. You can also contact me on Twitter, on Ask.fm. My username is Pirate Hearts on both those. I'll try to answer any questions I get next time I do a video. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.